Welcome back. Now, when I think about programming, I think of it in kind of learning steps. So the first step was kind of learning what variables were and if statements and for statements. And then I try to think of the next step as methods, which kind of help you break up your code and into smaller digestible chunks. So that's kind of the second step. And then the third step, I think of introducing yourself to what are called classes. Now, you've probably heard the term object-oriented programming, and we have not done any object-oriented programming so far in this tutorial. In this video, I am going to do classes. So this will be the start of object-oriented programming. The minute you make a class, you start doing object-oriented programming. So what is a class? Well, let's go ahead and just do the quick syntax of a class really quick. Oops, let's get this right. So public class dog. So this would be a dog class. Okay, so we've got a class here. And when you make a class, you want to think of your kind of drawing out blueprints for a house. So you're not actually building a house, you're just doing the blueprints so that you can accurately build the house in the future, right? So let's go ahead and think of what, obviously, you can't really have blueprints for a dog, but we can kind of have characteristics for a dog. So if I was to think of a characteristic for a dog, I'd think of a name, right? So dogs have names. Dogs have weight, and then now location might sound kind of funny. Like, do dogs have a location? But yeah, right. I mean, they are matter, so they have a location, right? So and you'll understand why I chose location here in a minute. But I think we all assume dogs kind of have a name, dogs have weights, and dogs have a location because they're somewhere. They're matter, so they have to have a location. Now, the other thing you have to ask yourself is, what do dogs do? So we have a list of kind of variables, but we have to ask ourselves now, what do dogs do? So, oh, and also, don't worry about private and don't worry about the word public. I'll probably get to that in the next few videos. But for now, just don't worry about it. Right now, look at this part here: string name, int weight. You know what that is? Those are just variable types. Now they're called something a little different when they're inside a class. But for now, just think of them as variables that describe a dog. So now we want to ask ourselves, what can a dog do? Well, dogs can make noise, right? So let's make a method, make noise. So now this method is inside of our class, right? So that might be kind of confusing to you, but it's just a method and it is inside of this class, and why it's inside the class will be explained in the future. But just think of this as something that the dog can do, right? What can a dog do? A dog can make noise. Okay, so woof woof. All right, what else can a dog do? Dog can move. Okay, so this is kind of weird, I assume, but if you think of the dog as in a video game and there's pixels, right? So his location would be like some pixels and then, add 6. So the dog moved on the screen. So dogs can move, dogs can make noise. Dogs have a location in your game, you know, if you're making a game. Dogs have a weight. Dogs have a name. So right here, we don't have a dog. What we have is the idea of a dog, or the blueprints of a dog. So just don't think about this. Don't think about a class as an actual object that you would have in a game. Think about a class as the blueprints that you can use to therefore make whatever class you have, whether you're making a dog, you know, or a knight, or, you know, a monster or a dragon, whatever you might be making for your game or your program. The class is not that thing. The class is simply the idea of the thing. So that's about all I want to cover in this video. Oh yeah, one more thing. This is just, we're going to go to project. Actually, let's go A-Dog. And then we'll go to project, add. See where it says project, add class. Click on class, go down here, go dog. Classes, you always want to capitalize your classes. So dog is capitalized, D-O-G. Class, add class. I like to see how I have program here and dog here. I personally, and for these tutorials, I'm always going to have my main program on the left side. And this dog class, see the dog class here? This is like another file that's in your program. But they're connected, so you don't have to worry. They do all that in the background. But if you just take this, Control X, so Control Cut, and then drop it right in here, Control V. This is proper coding procedures that you put your classes in separate files. So let's say we had a cat class. We would go project, add class, cat class. We'd add that to our project. So then we'd have cat. Let me move cat over here. So we have to make a cat, right? So this is our dog class, and this is our main class, which we have nothing in, or our main program. Sorry, not class, not class. So I'm not going to make a cat. So let me just get rid of that. But we have a good dog going here, so I'm going to end this video with that, and then the next one will actually make an object of that dog.